You guys, you grew up in faith, you grew up in church maybe. Mm-hmm. I didn't have that. So I had movies and books. And so when my son was maybe 10 years old, I said, I want to introduce you to the movies and books that shaped the way I think and shaped me as a person. Cool Hand Luke was one of those. And it's because Cool Hand Luke for me became a study in how I could never lose my power even when I felt powerless.
Yeah.
And it's a really strong Christ metaphor. And it in many ways, Cool Hand Luke prepared me for the Gospel of John.
Nice.
Wow.
And how Jesus would be the one who reframed power. To me, what's amazing is when you talk about things like social justice or reparations for past crimes against other peoples, whether it's the Native Americans or the Maori in New Zealand or the Aboriginal in Australia. These conversations we don't realize are actually influenced by Jesus, by his genius. See, before Jesus, no nation thought they should owe who they conquered anything. You just conquered nations, that's just the way it was.
You won, yeah.
You never had a conversation about slavery being unethical or immoral. What we don't realize is that Jesus actually transformed our view of power, where now we expect nations to use power to empower, not to overpower. We expect nations to actually move toward justice and move toward social equality and move toward righteousness. But that framework didn't exist in the Roman Empire. That frame didn't exist with Genghis Khan. It didn't exist with Cleopatra or with even Alexander the Great. And what we need to realize is that framework of power has actually been changed by the life of Jesus. Wow. He changed the way we see power. And he also teaches us how to use power. Probably the most powerful metaphor in the Bible is when it says that Jesus knew that all authority and all power had been given to him. And then what he does right after that is he puts a towel around his waist and he washes his disciples' feet. And so what the scriptures are actually giving us is how Jesus uses power. And what you learn in the scriptures is that God only trusts his power to those who are committed to serve. There's an old adage that says that absolute power corrupts absolutely, but it's not true. Because God has absolute power and he's incorruptible. And so I realized, no, absolute power doesn't corrupt absolutely. Absolute power reveals absolutely.
Right.
See, absolute power reveals to you who you really are and to others. Because what happens so oftentimes is that when we have that power, we don't have a character that actually navigates that power well. And Jesus reframes it. He says, no, power is not to be used for your personal benefit. When you've been given power, it's a stewardship to serve others.